Hi, my name is May Palacpac, creator of Fully Housewifed, The Wiser Years. Welcome to my homeschool podcast. In this podcast, my husband Jay and I will be talking about our lifestyle and our journey as a homeschooling family here in the Philippines. We will be talking about what we do and what we do not do, and how we raise and educate our 3 children who happen to be creatives and artists. We will be talking about our wins, our losses, and our mistakes. And we will also be talking to other seasoned homeschooling families to give you a better picture, so other homeschooling families can figure out and customize their homeschool journeys based on all of our experiences. Catch us weekly on Fully Housewifed, The Wiser Years Homeschool Podcast. Hi everyone, my name is May Palacpac.
I'm Jay Palacpac, and in this episode, we're going to talk about our homeschool journey.
Yes. We're also going to answer some of the questions that we usually get from parents who are curious about homeschooling and have observed our somewhat unique homeschooling setup.
Yeah.
The question is, how long have we been homeschooling? How long, honey?
Basta around 15 years.
Yes, around 15 years. Pablo's already turning 18 this year. So we started technically when he was 3. But of course, we were teaching him things before that. When he was a baby, we would sing to him worship songs, read to him the Bible, even if we're not sure how much of it he understands.
May ginamit tayo before na parang phonetics, yung...
Brainy baby.
Not brainy baby.
Yes, but that was when he was in na preschool age na siya nun eh. Ito yung sa playgroup. I think it was the apple, ball. Ano nga ba yun? I forgot the name. But if we remember it, I'm sure a lot of homeschooling families are familiar with that. It's one of the most effective phonetics curriculum that we've heard of and we've used. So the next question is, what attracted us to homeschooling?
Yung mga people around us.
Yeah, that's right.
Friends, kasi most of them are homeschoolers.
Yeah.
So, we get to see how they are, how their kids are, kung paano yung kids nila interact with other people. It's very impressive. And ako, nung time nung nagtuturo pa ako, there was this missionary family.
You were teaching guitar.
I was teaching guitar.
Yeah.
And one thing na na-notice ko sa kanila, kasi alam mo na sa Pilipinas, di ba, pag usapang matanda, hindi pwede yung mga bata.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I noticed lang na when the adults are talking, kasama yung mga anak nila. And one thing na I remember, the dad even asked for the son's opinion about some matters. So, that impressed me so much.
Yeah.
And hindi ko na nakalimutan yung bagay na yun. So
yeah, his opinion matters.
Yeah. That's why the children are very confident.
Yeah, kasi their views are heard. Oo. Ako rin actually, I was attracted to homeschooling when I observed firsthand yung interaction ni Trey. We have friends, Yang and Michelle Remulla, who homeschooled all of their kids. And yung eldest son nila came to Michelle at the back of the room where we were seated. And I saw the dynamics of how they were talking. And it was so evident na he was open and so close to his mom. And he wasn't at all intimidated by the age. Parang they could talk confidently with anyone of any status. And when I first met him, he said hi to me right away. Di ba, usually yung mga bata mahihiyain, especially in our generation, di ba, parang di ba, hindi ganun ka-confident, but he's just one of them. There's plenty of them. There were plenty of them.
They know how to be with adults.
Yeah. And I like that about homeschooling. Did your kids want to be homeschooled?
During that time siguro, hindi pa talaga. Kasi kami yung parents, so we're the one who decided.
Yes, that's right.
Pero now, looking at them now, I think mukha naman sila nag-enjoy.
Yes.
Lalo na that they can spend more time on the things that they want to do.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, yung panganay namin, he was the only one who really experienced what it's like to go to traditional school. But it's not even traditional school because it was just a summer preschool. And he had a taste of what it's like to go to class every day and do activities. But it's a preschool, so it's a lot more fun than it is when you go to a grade school or high school where subject matters are a bit more serious. But in preschool kasi it's all about cutting papers, colors, singing, dancing, playing, and discovering little things like when they have to fall in line and learn how to wash their hands and stuff like that. So it's still more fun. Okay, the next is, what is the method or approach you use to teach your kids?
Interest-led unschooling.
What is interest-led?
What is interest-led?
Oh, ikaw, what is interest-led?
Interest-led siguro, for me, in my own words, is taking the initiative as an individual to learn what you really want to learn.
Yeah.
Wala nang pasikot-sikot pa na may mga prerequisite. You have to go straight to what you really want.
Interest-led comes in different forms. In our case, it's literal. Kung ano yung interest nila. For example, they're interested in performing. So they do spend a lot of time training in dance and in performing arts. When our second child, Lucas, expressed his intention before that he wanted to be a voice actor, we set him on that path. So he started by working with his dad in church, right? There was an opportunity for him to voice a character in one of your animations to introduce the Bible story.
So when Lucas going back, when Lucas was wanted to be a voice actor, so in-invite ko siya to do some characters in our short stories. So, animations, yes.
And then eventually he landed projects. So he was learning on the job, on the field. So basically, ganun yung interest-led namin. Ganun ka-literal. But there are many different ways to do it. Unschooling, what is unschooling? Basically, we do not follow a specific structure or the usual structure that students follow. Our kids are allowed to choose the materials they want to read. For example, Pablo just finished reading Originals, How Non-Conformists Change the World. I don't think that's something that is usually recommended as a textbook. Yeah, but they can read it, but in our family, we allow the children to read these kinds of books and include it in our customized curriculum, so to say.
Yun, one thing that happens all the time in our family are discussions and
exchange of views.
Exchange of views. We help them process. Most especially, these are children who are also exposed on the internet.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
We have to help them process what they watch. Even pinapanood namin mga Marvel movies.
The documentaries, we watch them together.
Documentaries.
Or sometimes when they come across something on the internet, a controversial issue, or during the election, we talk about these things to them and let them know where their dad and I stand and ask them what their views are about what's happening. And then we fill them in with information that they may have missed along the way. Okay, so, is finances a reason why you are unschooling?
Ako sa akin, hindi naman. Kasi, now that they are older, mas naintindihan nila what they really want.
Yeah.
So, it supports the idea of unschooling them.
Yes.
Because talagang sila na yung pumipili what they really want to do. Now they have dreams.
They have a vision of their own.
May vision na sila. And it fits all our lifestyle as well.
Yes. So we did not unschool because of finances. But finances is a factor why we went independent. One of the benefits of independent homeschooling is that we have more freedom to allocate our funds towards our goals as a family and our children's visions and goals for themselves. Okay, have you always been unschoolers? Yes, which is why it did not work for us to be with providers, because the way we approached these providers, even with the boxed curriculum, we were doing it the unschooling way, the unstructured way.
Yeah. My wife, she really did try all types of kung may provider man o kung ano, PACES, ano pa ba, lahat yata nasubukan na namin. So,
yeah, with PACES kasi, we went to it because we were thinking baka mahabol. But we were so deep into independent homeschooling already. Hindi naman behind yung anak namin, but he had to take all those years. Medyo tedious for him just to finish all those years worth of modules. And we felt that it was unfair for him because hindi naman siya tumigil ma-educate. He's been educated naman through the years. Hindi naman kami tumigil. But in fairness to School of Tomorrow and even ALS, it almost worked for us. Except that ang tagal na nga kasi namin doing independent.
Ako, I love ALS.
Yeah, me too.
I love ALS.
Hindi lang kasi nag-fit. Yung sa ALS, ang hindi nag-fit was the level of Filipino. Which we're going to talk about later pagdating sa regrets. Yun. What is your typical homeschool, unschool day?
Number one talaga, Bible is a non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable for us. They also have to read a book.
Bible, book.
If
they
have
enjoy
that.
reading books actually.
Yeah,
so wala kaming problema.
Except for our eldest, not so
Bible.
much.
He reads his book in his dreams. So, pagod na sila. Medyo malayo yung...
Their studio is now in Makati, so they have to take the bus and go through the traffic. Yeah, that's a typical homeschool, unschool day we have here, especially for the two older boys. Because they are older and they are training in dance, hindi na pwedeng once a week na lang. Unlike others who treat dance as an extracurricular, for us, for our boys, it's a career path. It's important that they train as often as they do now. So they go to dance training from Tuesdays to Saturdays. They try to do other things. Like when they wake up early, they try to catch up on their academics. But again, it's not an imposed thing that you have to do this much pages or you have to know all these lessons by this time. Wala kaming ganon. They decide for themselves how much they want to work on for the day. So okay naman as long as they are progressing and they understand what they're learning, what they're studying.
Kami naman yung mga magulang na gagets kagad namin kung they're progressing or not.
For us, as long as they're progressing, we're fine. They're good. Before they did dance, and before they even went into performing arts, I usually remind them to work on something. You know, have you read your Bible? What did you read today? Can we talk about it? Things like that. If they decided to work on a concept in one of their academic books and there's something that they don't understand, they would come to us, and that's when we really drop whatever it is that we're doing to attend to them and help them.
And most of the time, most especially Pablo, he likes discussion. So a question will pop out any time of that.
Yeah. Also, our youngest actually, medyo challenging yung youngest namin because he loves physics and he loves sciences. Medyo hindi ako makakeep up dyan kasi liberal arts nga ako. Okay, yung pagiging artist ba ng mga bata, is that why they homeschool? No. They weren't really into performing arts when we started. They were young kids, but nakatulong. It helps that they are homeschooled. Hindi sila as pagod as those that go to traditional school and still do performing arts. Mas pagod sila kaysa sa mga anak namin. I think they are able to sleep better, nakakabawi ng tulog, nakakabawi ng yung energy, nakakakain ng tama. What about their social lives? Socialization. Okay. Ito tricky to. Honestly, our children are very confident kids. They can talk to anyone of any stature, which is what we've always wanted. But I have to admit that the pandemic did something because when the lockdown ensued, it was a time when magti-teenager or kaka-teenager lang ng eldest namin, tapos papuntang teenage years yung second. It was also the time when magluluwag kami a little bit more, when they could go out by themselves. Because we lived right by BGC that time, and BGC was relatively a safe place for youngsters to move around. Before the lockdown, he was already bringing himself to his classes kasi the studio that time was near lang. yeah, we would allow him to go with his friends, right? He would go to parties by himself, hang out at coffee shops. But during the pandemic, our children are one of those rare ones that are not much into social media. Hindi sila masyadong ma-chat. So they lost connection. Yeah, except for sometimes they did try online class, pero hindi sila masyado into that, no? Hindi masyadong. I mean, if they have a choice, they'd rather do face-to-face. The only online class that they really, really took seriously were their dance classes, their dance training.
Yeah, tuloy-tuloy yan kasi online.
But they did abotala. They did abotala, and then nung medyo lumuwag, may konting social awkwardness that resulted from the pandemic. So they're still warming up. Still warming up. We're glad because in dance class, they are...
Face-to-face na kasi sila.
Because they go to School of Alice Reyes Dance Philippines. And that school kasi also teach students from Philippine High School for the Arts, Guangming College.
There are lots of people.
And they have master classes with other dance students. So they are able to have interaction with other people, starting to warm up to other people. They're starting to build relationships, although it's slower. Hindi naman talaga natin minamadali ang friendships, di ba?
Saka mahirap magawa ng relationship while doing your training. Siguro
Hello!
before most of them, they go to class, so they come there at eksaktong time na. So, not enough time to mingle, to interact.
Okay, next question. Is it cheaper to unschool? Is it cheaper daw to unschool? Yeah, I always say this every time I'm asked that education is never cheap. If you really want to give your children a good education, you really have to invest in it. So the thing lang talaga, because we are unschoolers and independent at that, we have more freedom to use and allocate the funds towards our children's goals and towards the career that they're training for. So yun lang, but mahal pa rin. Mahal ang career, di ba? Career building is expensive. Oo. Kaya don't go into homeschooling if your reason is only the finances. Because
baka magulat ka.
Or ma-disappoint ka. If you are not willing to invest in your child's future, you will just get the bare necessities. And it might not be enough for you. You will not be able to maximize the benefits. And you'll see everyone else doing that. So be ready. Always be ready. But wala namang masama if you can only afford the bare necessities for now.
Pero there are also a lot of free stuff online that you can utilize.
That's true. That's true. Oo, meron naman din. And of course, there are certain free trainings or may scholarships din, di ba? We have been granted a few of these scholarships for our children throughout the years, and we are thankful for that because we wouldn't know how we would have been able to support our children 100% had it not for the help of other people also. So, is there anything that we would have done better? Do we have any regrets?
You.
Okay. Ako, honestly, and it's not because hindi sila makakeep up sa curriculum, but I wish that we would have given more time teaching our children to speak Filipino. Not for anything else, but I realized through the years that it's easier for them to find their cultural identity if they really know how to speak their own language. So, pinagsisisihan ko yan kasi ang hirap pala niyang ituro. I thought kasi talaga na because they are naturally Filipinos, it will come to them. Hindi pala ganun. Ikaw, honey, do you have any regrets?
Siguro yan lang din eh. It's not impossible for them to learn, pero it's just not that easy for them now because they're old na.
Yeah. Actually, our eldest naman has started conversing in Filipino to his friends, and He was actually blessed to have friends in theater before, backstage, who would teach him Filipino, di ba? So that was good.
As long as he's using it and he's trying.
Yeah, he's able to converse na now. Yung dalawa, parang hindi pa sila ready, pero malapit na. Malapit na. Interesado na naman yung bunso, di ba? So yon. But that is the one big regret that I have. Yung sana I gave more importance to teaching them our language.
Yeah. I guess yun lang yun sa akin. In life, marami.
Counselor na kailangan natin dyan. Ayun. So, yeah, we've run out of questions. I hope that we were able to answer some of yours. If you have any more questions, yeah, you can ask in the comment section, or you can email me or send us messages on our socials. Before we end, I'd like to invite you guys to a 2-part event called Limitless, an interest-led learning fair. Part 1 will be on July 22, 3 to 5 p.m. on Zoom, and Part 2 will be in person. That will be a showcase of self-directed learners and their passion projects. So be there. It will be at the feast in Galleria. I will be posting the registration link in the description box. I hope to see you guys there so you can learn more about interest-led and self-directed learning. That's it. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode.
Catch us on our next episode.
Yes, here on Fully Housewifed, the Wiser Years Homeschool Podcast.